Example 4, solve the following two-step equations. Show all of your steps. So as it says in the title there, in the instructions, we're going to have two steps. I'm going to write down BEDMAS, and I want us to remember that we need to work backwards. So we're gonna get rid of those first. That's number one. Then we're going to get rid of any of these. And lastly, we're going to get rid of this. Just depending on what it is. So we always have to start at 1. If there is no 1, we'll go to 2. If there is no 2, we'll go to 3. So we just skip things that we can't do. All right. So this right here says 10 minus x is equal to 2. And so right here, it doesn't show it. We're not subtracting 10. We have a negative x, and then we have this plus 10. This is a positive 10. And so we need to get rid of this 10 that's being added to this equation. So to get rid of it, and I know it's difficult, it doesn't look like a plus 10. It looks like you see the minus 10. But again, where this is a plus 10. It would be helpful, maybe, for us to rewrite this. So there's this negative x here, and then the 10. And what happens in between? Well, it's a positive. So that might be helpful is to write it in what's called descending order. We need to put the x first. You'll notice here in B, the x comes first. The x and then nothing. It's called descending order. Here, 11 minus 2x, we might want to rewrite that in a different order. And here, 7 minus 2x. Again, we might want to rewrite that. Okay, so let's take a look here. Negative x plus 10. So right now we're adding. So that's number 1, adding, subtracting. So we're going to get rid of that with the opposite. So I'm going to minus 10, minus 10. Those are going to be gone. I've got a negative x, and there's the equal sign, and I've got 2 minus 10. 2 minus 10 is going to be negative 8. There's 2 good guys, 10 bad guys. There's way more bad guys. How many more are there? There are 8. Now, that's step number 1. Now you need to get rid of this negative. Well, this is kind of like a negative 1. Negative 1 times x. So what we typically will do is we'll divide by negative 1 on both sides. Whatever you do to the left, you have to do to the right. So this is a negative 1. Again, we don't write the 1. And now one's on the numerator and one's on the bottom, the denominator, so those can cancel. And leaving us with an x, and then there's an equal sign. And negative 8 over negative 1 is a positive 8. So you can see here there was an addition that we got rid of. That was step number 1. And then there was this multiply that we got rid of by dividing. Moving on here, we've got 10 equals 3x minus 5. It's already in a good order. First, we're going to get rid of any addition or subtraction. So there's a subtraction here, so I will get rid of it by using addition. And whatever you do to the right, you got to do to the left. So there's an equal sign. Now on the right, those are gone. So I'm just left with a 3x. On the left, I get 10 plus 5, which is 15. Now this says 3 times x, so I will get rid of a times by dividing. Whoops. I'll get rid of a times by dividing. There we go. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. Those are gone. And I have an x is equal to 15 over 3, which is a 5. And so we got rid of the subtraction, and then we got rid of the multiplication. All right, let's take a look at C. First thing that I will do is get rid of, or change the order. So there's a minus 2x, and then there's a positive 11. And so it doesn't show a positive, but it is positive, so I'm going to put a positive 11 is equal to 5. That's not necessary to do, but it's helpful for us to see that this is actually a plus 11. Therefore, we will subtract 11 from both sides. So that's gone. So I've got a negative 2x is equal to 5 minus 11. So 11 bad guys and 5 good guys. So the winner would be the bad, and there's going to be 6 more than them. So it's negative 6. Now this is timesing. So I will divide by negative 2. So those are gone. I'll do that to this side too, a negative 2. Therefore, x is alone on the left side. On the right side, negative 6 divided by negative 2 is a positive 3. And lastly, again here, I do not like the order that it's written. So I will just change it. There's a minus 2x or a negative 2x, so I'll write that down, a negative 2x. And then there's a positive 7, so I'm going to write a positive 7. Now, step number 1 is get rid of any add or subtract. I see an add, so I will do the opposite, which is a subtract from both sides. On the right, I've got a negative 2x. On the left, I got 15 minus 7, so that is going to be a positive 8. Now this is times, so I will do the opposite, which is divide, and those can be gone. And I'll divide on this side as well. So x is equal to 8 divided by negative 2, which in this case is negative 4. So I will zoom out here so you can see all of them. And then in the next video, we'll do the other 4 questions.